there, and then we'll highlight this. All right. Done there. Now I can turn that off.
Okay.
What you got today?
I know this sounds like a weird thing to start the show with, but I really feel the need to talk about.
Start again. Sorry.
I know this is a weird thing to start the show with, but I really feel compelled to talk about the Shawn Mendes Camila Cabello breakup because it's bothering me and I've been thinking about it all day. So I feel like we really need to discuss it.
It's been bothering you? Why has it been bothering you?
Okay, so I heard that she's upset, she's sad, blah, blah, blah. He initiated the breakup. Okay, a source close to the couple is saying this. And usually a source means somebody that actually does know. So we don't know for sure, obviously, but it seems like he initiated the breakup. It was his idea, But what they did was they had a joint breakup announcement, that they're holding on to their friendship. It was not a bad breakup. The relationship was getting stale. We've always been best friends. We're going to continue to be best friends. That's not going to stop. Like the romantic part's over, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But I really feel like it was the Cinderella thing that made him look at her differently. When they first started dating, remember, so she's 24, he's 23. So they're like on the younger side, but they're both well into their careers. I feel like when you're both on the rise, you want to both be in the same place. And it seems like his star is rising way faster and way better than hers because, her music is okay. It's doing okay. But then she did the Cinderella thing and she thought that she was going to work her way into the world of television and film and all that. But it was terrible. And she was terrible. And I feel like it's a total turnoff. And if you've ever dated anybody who is in art of some kind, I dated this guy who was a painter. And when I first started dating him, I fell in love with his 2 chocolate labs. So I was like, okay, how bad could a guy be that has 2 chocolate labs? And he's a painter. Like, how cool is that? And he lived in this like crazy basement apartment and his life seemed so romantic and he was kind of sexy. But then I saw his work and it was terrible.
It's not, the dogs were good, the work, not so much.
It was not good, where I was like, what delusional life is he living in that he thinks that he's going to become like a well-known, like, it's not like he's a bartender and a painter, or he's an accountant and a painter. He was just a painter. Like he was living off whatever he could, taking money from his parents. I mean, granted, we were younger, so it was okay to take money from your parents back then. But it's just the idea of like, nobody said to him, dude, you're terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my turnoff. Like when I first met him, very sexy, great dogs, cool life. I thought, oh, this guy's kind of interesting. Saw the work and was like, yeah, no, I was immediately turned off. And while Camila Cabello has an amazing singing voice and she's super talented and she gets on a stage like as a pop star and she kills it, I feel like he probably saw her in Cinderella and was like, oh, not attracted anymore.
Well, that's hard to believe because when they first started dating, he was all about her. I mean, he was doing everything he could to attract her to the point where it was almost obsessive. Right. So I'm very surprised at the breakup.
Okay, so do you think he's one of these guys that really tried hard and once he gets what he wants, it's not exciting anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's more like it? Like he tried so hard to get her and he finally did. And then it was like, oh, well, that was too easy.
Yeah. Then he goes on stage and 15,000 girls are screaming for him. And he's like, maybe I'm 23.
Right.
Some people do get that wake up call at 23. Some people don't. Some people get that wake up call at 23 and say, I want to play. Yeah. I'm young. Let's live my life. And I think somebody might have even gotten to him and said, hey, you're too young for this.
I feel like it depends on the girl too. Like even though Elon Musk and Grimes have split up, I feel like she's so bizarre and edgy and hard to keep up with that she probably kept his attention a lot longer than if he was dating like, you know, a Taylor Swift, somebody who was kind of just a Scarlett Johansson, someone who's just like predictable and safe and pretty, but like not edgy. So I feel like Camila Cabello also she's tight with her dad. She's just like a normal person. I don't know that she was able to keep his attention long enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I'm surprised because he went full out to try to get her.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. He got her, and then the chase is over. Once the chase is over, I mean, there's guys like that they love the chase, and then once they get you, they're not excited anymore.
You don't know guys like that. All guys like that.
Oh.
So every single guy is like that. So it's just how tired we are once we've gotten you.
So if you're saying every guy is like that and he's like that, then why would you be surprised that he's done with her and she's bored him at this point?
Yeah, because I don't know, because I saw how hard he went after her. And that was, I mean, he went full board. He was trying everything. So I thought it might work. And when he broke up with her, that blew me away. Because
you're saying you're contradicting yourself.
No, I understand what I'm saying. I get it.
Do ya?
Yeah, I do. I understand once you win the race is over. I get that.
Right. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
He worked out a long time to get into the race. And usually if you work that hard, you're a little bit too tired to move on.
Right. Well, I mean, he's 23. I don't think he's going to get tired of anything
not 43.
these days.
If he's 43, it's a different story.
Right, exactly. But I don't know. I just feel like, and then remember there was that whole thing about how her fans went after Normani and she didn't do anything to defend Normani after they were like best friends. And now Camila Cabello ended up on one of those BuzzFeed lists of celebrities that people don't like anymore. I just think all that stuff taken together, the fact that nobody watched Cinderella, the ratings were not good. She got terrible reviews. Then BuzzFeed had her at the top of their list of celebrities people no longer like. I don't know. I feel like on some level that must have an effect when you're a pop star and a celebrity and all you have is your brand.
She might have bitched one too many times about leaving the toilet seat up. He went, I'm not doing this. This is, she complains way too much. I gotta go.
I feel like she was probably too nice because she seems like a really, really nice person. Like she just doesn't pick a fight and is not interested in being like toilet seat up stuff. Like also, these are celebrities. These are people that have a lot of money. These are pop stars. They have many toilets. So he had his own bathroom. So whatever he did in there is his business.
I know, but once she brings it up and she brings it up again and it's enough. I just had 15,000 girls screaming for me. They're not going to complain about the toilet seat.
And the crazy thing is they're both super talented and super hot. And I feel like if I were her, I'd be like, yeah, I'm sad that didn't work out. Next.
Yeah.
Is Zac Efron single? Who's out there?
It's easy to move on when you're that hot and that
right.
Well,
and you have access to all these other celebrities. I mean, if I were her, I would have already had a list in my head of who she's going to go to next.
Yeah, she probably does. I mean, it's late on Friday. She probably started that list this morning.
So are you surprised that Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian are actually an item now?
I so don't believe any of that. I mean, I'm waiting for, I don't know. I mean, I can't with either one of them because we've had this conversation with Pete. Oh, look who Pete's dating now. Oh, look who Pete's dating now. And it only lasts like 6 months.
Not even that long.
Yeah. So I can't get excited nor care. If they get married, maybe I'll care. But yeah, it happens too quick for both of them. So
it's so insane that this guy who, we talked about many times, like what the attraction is, but the fact that the most beautiful women on the planet have completely fallen for him, like have completely like given over to his charms.
Yeah. But saying that, he can date a woman with zero baggage. Kim Kardashian has so much baggage, she needs movers.
No, she doesn't have any baggage. No, in fact, she has no baggage. She's the most mentally competent, sane one of all of them. She's one of those women who feels like she wants to take a damaged guy and help him and save him because she is so sane and normal and good and a good mom.
I'm saying baggage by kids, ex-husband.
Oh, you mean like that kind of baggage, not mental, psychological baggage. You mean, I see.
No, I'm talking sisters, mom, ex-husband, kids.
4 kids, yeah.
There's a lot of freaking baggage. And when you're Pete Davidson, you just moved out of your mom's apartment.
Right.
Like 6 months ago, you just moved out of the basement of your mom's house in Staten Island. You ain't ready for 4 kids, a mom, 3 sisters, and crazy ex-husbands, and Kanye and Us Weekly. You're not ready for it.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't think this is a forever. I'll be shocked if this is a forever relationship because, again, you're right. I don't think he's ready for what she has. I mean, she should be looking for a guy that can look. She doesn't need a guy to take care of her, obviously, and she doesn't need a guy to parent her kids. They have a father. But she does need somebody who's not a flake.
Right. And 4 kids is a lot for any guy to take on. And you're a player.
Right.
I
think it's more than that. I think it's the fact that Kim Kardashian is somebody who eclipses everything and everybody else. I don't think he realizes, like, he's the guy that he's usually the big star. He walks in a room, people are like, oh my God, Pete Davidson is here. It's going to be like, oh my God, Kim Kardashian is here with some guy. I don't think he really has an idea of the level of stardom that she possesses. Once he's in that world, once he sees, that's why she and Kanye got along so well, because Kanye has an ego that big and has a career that big and a following that big. Pete Davidson doesn't. I think she's going to eclipse him in like a month. That'll be the end.
No, the minute he walks on a red carpet and somebody says, can you move for a second? Get out of the picture.
Exactly.
Then he's going to say, whoa, no, wait, hold on.
Right.
I got to date somebody where they move her out of the photo, not me.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's going to be shocked at how quickly people are going to be like, who's that thing on? What's on your arm there? Can you take that off your arm? Yeah, Kim, we got to get a picture of you.
That's what I mean by baggage. And then I guarantee the mom calls every 5 minutes. And if the mom isn't calling, it's her glam squad. She can't get up without her glam squad. He ain't putting up with this.
Well, she has a very structured life, 2 hours of working out, and then she does photo shoots, and she has all these products and things that she's promoting all the time. And she's got sponsors and people to answer to. She has partners who are working with her in her Skims project, her Skims line. So she's busy. She's an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. She's busy.
And he just wants to see boobies.
Yeah.
That's really all he wants. He doesn't want all that. He just wants to, let me see the boobies. Wow. Let me see the butt. Wow.
Right. Ariana Grande was actually really good for him because in between gigs, she was around. She hung out. You can wake up and have like a late breakfast and order in and lay around all day and watch movies. And
that's not Kim.
She had her own life. No, Kim. I mean, Kim's up and moving and going. She's got to get the kids ready. She's got to, I know she has nannies and stuff, but she's part of their life. She's not one of those absentee moms. She's got an empire to run. She's busy.
Mm-hmm. All right. New segment idea. Fake news, but it's not fake news. It's real.
Okay.
So feel bad for everybody in the world because this isn't fake. This is real.
Okay. Fake news.
But it's real life. People act so strange these days.
It's Cooper and Anthony.
It's got an opening now.
Of course it has an opening.
Because we have so much fake news where you go, what? No. Thanksgiving dinner. It's going to cost more this year because everything is higher priced.
Right.
So when you think of it, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So it's going to be 14% higher this year. So for 10 people, it's going to be $53 instead of last year was $46.
And this is the year that people have less money as well. So it's like, oh, so you're going to increase everything the 1 year that we have less money in our pockets? Thank you.
Okay, why are turkeys 24% higher than last year? There's no turkeys on a barge.
Nope, that's true.
The turkeys come from down the street. So you can't tell me that they're on a barge in the middle of the Hudson waiting to dock.
Right.
No, they're here. We grow them here. So I don't know why turkeys have gone up 24% in the past year.
Right. What would be the reason?
Yeah, I don't know. Just for no reason.
No, they have to. They're caught up in the supply chain somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just because they can. Because everything is more expensive. So I guess they're charging more for that.
Right.
Over 500,000 Americans have lost their sense of smell permanently because of COVID.
Permanently? I didn't know that.
It's gone. 1.6 million people no longer can smell. Good news for you, but
yeah, those are my new friends. So that way I can hang around with them. It's like, oh, how long has it been since you've showered? I don't know. You'll never know.
Yeah. So they don't have smell no more. That's the downside of getting the COVID is you thought you couldn't taste and smell, but that's going to last your whole life.
Find me those people. Those are my new friends.
They're probably all in New York because that's great. New York would almost be perfect for me if it didn't smell like piss. I would be like, I like it here. It smells good. A man wins $25,000 a year for life by using the same lotto numbers he's been using for 4 years.
Oh, that's so smart.
So for 4 years, he's done nothing but 5, 7, 11, 21, 29. And finally, 4 years into it, he won $25,000 a year for life from the Michigan lottery.
I wonder how much he invested in order to get that 25,000. Like, is it a good investment? Did he spend 50,000?
Yeah, that would be $2 a week. So
for 4 years.
For 4 years. That's like, $800.
Yeah, right. Good point. So he definitely, that's a win.
Yeah, he got the lump sum of $390,000.
Wow, what?
Yeah, so I don't know what. God, I sound like what's his face now. Would you take the $390,000 or would you take the $25,000 for life?
Depends on how old you are. If you're young, if you're young, you take the 25,000. If you're older, you don't know how much longer you're going to be around. Give me the lump sum.
Denver has shattered a snow record already this year.
No.
For not one flake falling.
Okay. I was going to say.
So far, they've shattered a record that not one snowflake has fallen in Denver.
So by now, Denver would have had snow, you're saying?
They would be plowed under, but they haven't even seen it. So, yeah, global warming is not happening. It's fake news.
Welcome to Florida, Denver.
A couple vanished after stealing COVID-19 relief funds.
Oh,
so they stole all of this COVID-19 relief funds. They have 3 kids, 13, 15, and 16. So did they take the kids? No.
No.
They left a note for the kids and said, we will be together again one day. This is not goodbye, but a brief break from each other. So
a break from your children. So they were on a break. They're Ross and Rachel with their kids.
Yeah. So they took the money. They ran without the kids.
Oh, my God. That sounds like my dream. Whoa. So what happened to the kids? Does it say where the kids are going? Are they in foster care? Did an aunt take them? What happened?
Don't know. This was late August, almost 3 months later or 5 months. The couple still have not been found.
I guess if you're somebody who's going to steal relief funds from people that really need it, you're probably, you did those kids. Yeah, you did those kids a favor. Like they need better parents than you.
Yeah. Wacky but true story. A man. See, I don't understand this. This happens all the time when restaurants have all you can eat.
Right.
And then they say, you got to leave. You eat too much. So this guy in China was eating at a buffet, and he just ate so much and drank so much. They said, you can't come here no more.
But all you can eat.
He drank 30 bottles of soy milk.
Oh,
So,
no.
You know, when you go up to, well, you don't know because you've never been to a buffet in the past 30 years, but
no.
They have the metal pans.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
That they put the food in.
Yeah.
Instead of going up to the metal pan and taking a few shrimp out, he would take the whole metal pan.
Oh, my God. And then eat the whole thing.
Yeah, he would eat it all. See, that's the thing that pisses me off is he didn't have any waste. He ate the whole thing. So he ate a lot, but he ate it all.
You can't have the competitive eaters come in there. Like if you're doing all you can eat, you got to make sure that people coming in are not competitive eaters, because what you're talking about is competitive eating levels. Like nobody can drink that much soy milk or eat that much food unless they're like championship eaters. That's not regular people stuff.
Well, then don't have an all-you-can-eat buffet. You know, if you have an all-you-can-eat buffet and somebody 700 pounds walks in there or Joey Chestnut and they're going to eat, you got to say, okay, come on, because those places have to throw away a ton of food.
Right. And more than that, it all evens out, because then you get somebody like me who comes in. I had gone to an all-you-can-eat buffet years ago with my family. And you know me, I don't really eat much anyway. And there was nothing on the buffet that looked good to me. So I just took a little salad that I picked at, but I had to pay the full price. So you get, or children come in, and children don't eat that much. So they have to pay full price, whatever the child's price is, but still it's full price. So in the end, the restaurant doesn't lose money. You can't kick somebody out for eating too much. Sorry.
Yeah, you paid $30 for salad.
Yeah, I did.
You know, so I love that he would take the whole pan. It's like, you're going to need more of this. You're going to take a lot. No, I'm going to take the whole thing. So I trust me, you should start cooking it now. Netflix is an evil bastard, by the way. Netflix is going to produce a 10-episode comedy series set in the last Blockbuster video.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, that's horrible. That's
Why?
like if you kill your wife and then come out with a comedy series about on top of her casket.
I see your point. Yeah, right.
So Netflix is dancing on Blockbuster Video's grave by coming out with a comedy series. Yeah, you're the reason why they don't exist anymore.
Right. That's a good point.
And there is one Blockbuster left, and that's where it's going to be held at, in Real Life Bend, Oregon.
Oh, my God.
It's called Real Life Bend. That's the name of the town. And that's where the last Blockbuster is located. And that's where they're shooting the show.
Oh, it's so mean.
Who goes to the last Blockbuster?
I'm sure there's people out there that still have a VCR or a DVD player, because do they do DVDs too there, or just
yeah, they had DVD. They
well, there you go.
Yeah.
So somebody's got a DVD player out there.
See, I miss walking around Blockbuster on Friday night, looking for a movie, running into the Blockbuster to see if that new movie was there or it was all gone, and then walking around like a zombie looking at all the movies. You don't have that anymore.
They had a wall full of it. Whatever the new movie was that came out, there was a wall full of it.
And I'm going to let you know, you had to watch the whole thing, because now you'll last 4 seconds into a movie and say, no, I'm not going to watch it. But if you paid $4 for that movie, you're going to watch the whole thing.
Right. That's true.
So that's why we got through a lot of horrible movies, because we paid for them. But now nobody watches a horrible movie more than 5 minutes. We
hated it 10 minutes in, but we kept going to get our money's worth.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to rewind this movie 5 minutes into it. Oh, no. I'm going to watch it, and then I'm going to wake up early tomorrow to finish it before I rewind it and take it back.
It's why Pauly Shore had a career.
Yeah, tell me in the Army now you would have watched that.
No, of course. That's what I'm
did pay
saying. Like,
for
there's
it.
no way. Right. We are responsible for Walk Like a Man. That's our fault.
Or The Animal. Remember that horrible movie? There was so many of those movies that we went,
Right.
oh, God, a European gigolo. Fine, I paid for it. I'm going to watch it.
Yep. If it was terrible and it was available at Blockbuster in the 90s, we made it happen.
And the cover looked cool. If the cover looked good, we're going to watch it.
Yep.
All right. Genesis, the band Genesis, they're on the road again.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Wait,
And
who's in the band now? I thought that they all split up and Phil Collins has his stuff and Peter Gabriel has his stuff.
well, Peter Gabriel's not with them. He hasn't been with them for forever, but Phil Collins is still with them.
Okay.
And Phil is in pretty bad shape now, so he sits the whole time and does the show. But he sounds amazing.
He's a drummer. Of course he sits.
No. He's not playing drums. He can't even hold a drumstick anymore.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
Yeah, his hands are so bad he can't even hold drumsticks. So he sits in front, but he sits on a chair, and they just started doing it a couple of weeks ago. They haven't done the song Misunderstanding since 1984 live.
Mm-hmm.
So Stereo Gum put out a video of them doing the song. So I guess people were there. It's kind of it's a decent video.
Mm-hmm.
So you're watching it and you go, it's still.
Great song.
It's a great song, great version. But then you go to the Rolling Stone video for this song. So somebody in the second row decided to record it also, and Rolling Stone magazine put it out. And this is why I hate to go to a live show.
Uh-oh.
I hate going to football games live. I hate going to shows live. This is what you get.
Oh my God, what a mess.
No. Everybody around him is singing off key.
I thought that was the band screaming, singing. I was like, wait, why are they singing like that? Oh. Oh, God.
I'm like, dude, shut up.
That should not be allowed. Oh, Jesus.
This is like a bad karaoke show. And you think, the first time I saw this, so I saw this video yesterday, and I said, wow, Phil Collins sounds like crap. He's off key. I've never heard him off key. And then I found the other video where people weren't singing, and you could tell he's definitely.
It wasn't Phil Collins singing. Phil Collins was perfectly fine, singing beautifully and amazing like he always does. And those were the people around the guy filming it, which, I have to say, like, you pay $500 for a ticket. I mean, these concerts are not cheap, especially the ones that are geared towards boomers. They think boomers all have money, so they target them and they charge them a lot of money. My friend's mom is a boomer, and she was telling me about, like, she went to go see Cher, and she said for every row you went back or you went up, it was an additional $500.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, that's so crazy. But so that's what they did. And it's like really expensive. It should not be allowed that people around you are singing the songs after you paid all that money.
Yeah, and this moron doesn't even know the lyrics. Nero.
Oh, no. Places that you always go. I'll help you out here, son.
I'm like, dude, shut up. Phil Collins is days away from death.
Right.
If you see him he doesn't look good. It's not good.
You're singing the wrong lyrics off key in my ear, and Phil Collins is 2 feet from me. Shut the fuck up.
I can almost touch Phil Collins, but I'm listening to you.
Right. That's what I mean. That should not be allowed. There should be something when you walk in and they tell you, like, you have to have a COVID test, and they give you all, don't bring a gun. Like, you can't bring alcohol. You should also not be allowed to sing loudly in the person's ear standing right next to you.
To where you sound like they're off key. And unless you're a really good singer.
No, even if you're a good singer, it's going to ruin the concert. I didn't come to hear you sing.
Right.
I came to hear that band up there. In fact, I paid a lot of money for that.
Yeah, let's go to a bar, a karaoke bar, and then I'll listen to you sing there. But now let him do it. See, that's why I hate about football games, because at football, you get idiots around you screaming, drunk, breathing on you. At home, you know what? I have the perfect seat at home.
Yeah, but at a football game, they're not down there trying to catch the ball. That's the difference. They're just standing near you being obnoxious. They're not down on the field running around trying to help the team, which is what this is.
Yeah, we don't need you to, just stop. Drives me nuts. All right. Got something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that the two studies that keep coming up over and over are about how much coffee you're supposed to drink and whether penis size is a thing or not. I feel like every time I open up a study or open up, one of our prep services or something, the same conversation. It's either like 2 cups of coffee a day is great. 2 cups of coffee a day will kill you. And then the other studies about penis size. Women don't care about penis size. Women really care about penis size.
It's because you have Google alerts for both of these.
It's really true. Yeah. Coffee, penises, and dogs are my Google alerts.
Yeah, that's and Cooper Lawrence.
Yeah,
dog,
my own name.
Coffee and penis. So that's why you keep seeing it all the time.
That's a good point.
Because it pops up in your email.
Yeah, it's a pun intended. But it's just so funny that these studies come up and it's like, you're right. I must have a radar for this because other people just look at this. They look at all the studies that come up and they look at articles and they're like, oh, look, Pauline Porskova is saying something wacky. No, I ignore that. I'm like, penis size? What? I'm in. So here's what's interesting. I'm going to give you like a little bit of a kind of a quiz here. So we have talked about this before, that the most recent studies find that 61% of baby boomers and 60% of Gen Xers both think penis size is important to sexual pleasure. 61% of boomers, 60% of Gen Xers, when they were asked, does the size of a penis matter when you're having sex? Yes. Okay.
Well, I guess it does. That's a majority of both generations.
Of those generations, right?
Right.
So then they asked Gen Xers, then they asked Gen Zers and Millennials the same question. Now, think about Gen Z and Millennials. Think about how they are socially correct, more woke than their older counterparts, body shaming, fat shaming, penis shaming, like none of that stuff is okay with them. I said to you a couple of weeks ago when we talked about penis size, I was like, you know what? Stop making comments about men's penis size. Like, first of all, it's none of your business. Second of all, it's nothing a man can change. So don't make men feel bad about something they can't change, just the way don't make women feel bad about stuff they can't change. Like
keep in your pants and then we won't have that problem. Nobody knows.
Right,
the only person that knows is you, your wife, your husband, or your doctor. That's the only people that know. So I can shame you all day long.
Right. So knowing that about the different generations and what they care and don't care about, do you think that millennials and Gen Z cared more about penis size than boomers and Gen X, or less about penis size?
More.
You are correct. Not just more, way more, way more. 74% of millennials said size is important, as opposed to 85% of Gen Z that said, oh, yeah, that's super important.
Because they have porn at their fingertips.
Well, I wonder if it's a youth thing. I wonder, like, the younger you are, the more important penis size is, and the older you get, the less. Because I wonder, like, so baby boomers and Gen X, it's only 60%. But I wonder if when they were millennial age and Gen Z age, they cared
Oh.
more. Do you know what I mean? Like if you would have, so
If you're 20, do you care more than when you are 50?
yeah, so a Gen Xer is what, like, I don't know, 45, 50, something like that. So if you talk to a Gen Xer 20, 30 years ago, would more of them be like, yeah, penis size, super important?
Got it. See, you always look at a study a totally different way than most people.
Yeah. And then I started thinking, like, what's this conversation about? Why do we keep having this conversation about penis size? Why is this so important to everybody? And what they find is, like, normally men care more about it than women do. But so I went to the source. I went to National Geographic.
I went to God.
I went to, well, National Geographic is really the god of these types of studies because, they're all they do is go back to the cave. They go back to evolution. They look at, like, well, why would this be?
Mhm.
And I thought this was really interesting because I was like, I actually Googled, like, why do women care about penis size? And you can imagine what came up when I Googled that.
That you shouldn't Google that.
Yeah. But here's what National Geographic says, I think is really interesting. They said you always have to go back to the cave and think about it like this. So when people were walking around back then, they didn't have clothes.
Mhm.
Clothing wasn't a thing. Like whatever, like Louis Vuitton wasn't making shoes back then. And Calvin Klein wasn't making dresses, or whoever. I don't know. I'm not designers anymore. I have no fashion sense. But the only thing women had to decide whether they were going to procreate with a guy was the size of his penis. That was, and they could see it because they were all walking around naked. So they were able to look at a man's penis and go, oh, well, that one looks like it will be able to help me make babies.
My eyes up here. That's what the cavemen said. Eyes up here. They kept looking at it. Stop looking. Look at my eyes. Tell me I have good eyes. I keep looking at. Yeah, thanks.
Well, no, but they didn't see. They didn't shame each other over.
Yes, they did. The guy with the big wang, he was the king. The guy with the small wang, he's the one that was the jester.
Well, no, but you're right, and that's the thing, that it was evolutionary. That women looked at a larger penis and thought, no, it wasn't like, oh my God, it's big, I'm attracted to it. They thought it's larger, which means it probably has more sperm in it and it can probably fertilize more of my eggs and really get up there, which is, what I need to make babies and keep, the population going. So it's hard to think of it through like a 2021 lens, but when you think of it like that, that makes more sense. And if you see a tiny penis, you're like, well, that sperm will never make it in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So early humans didn't wear clothes and male penises were obvious to women. So women chose their mates based on the size of genitalia. So now we talk about it so much like, that's crazy, but it does have an evolutionary aspect to it.
Yeah, the ones with the bigger, the smaller wieners, they buy the Porsches and the big trucks.
That's right.
So that's how you can tell now. They're not walking around naked, but they're driving a Porsche. It's like, I get it.
Me make wheel. Me have tiny penis. Made wheel.
Truck. Oh, I understand.
I see why you made the wheel. You needed women to look at you because they weren't looking at you. Now it's like, oh, I'm with the guy that made the wheel.
Yeah. Now that he has pants, it's all different.
Right. It's like my guy can use tools, but he's got a small penis. Yeah, but you got to see him with these tools. He's really good.
My guy drives a Porsche. Oh, I get it. I'm sorry.
Right. Whatever the caveman version of a Porsche was.
So where does coffee fit into this?
No, I'm just saying it's another one of those studies that every day you open up an email or you open up a study and they're like, coffee will kill you. Coffee will save your life.
Oh, that's because, like I said, you have a Google alert for coffee because you're such a coffee connoisseur.
Yeah.
That anything news breaks about coffee, you must know.
Yeah, there's no coffee connection to the penis thing other than it's just one of those studies that every day you wake up and there's now what about penis size?
Mm-hmm.
Now what about coffee?
Let me see. I could be making a mistake by this, but bringing this up.
Uh-oh.
But it hit me weird today. about the Rittenhouse court case.
Yeah.
Everybody's been watching it. Everybody's been talking about it. It was all over social media. It was all over the news. And when the verdict came out today, I said, I need to stay in my house because I think I'm the weird one now.
Why?
Because everybody was saying how great it was that he got off of this charge.
That's because you live in South Carolina. In New York, they're already rallying.
Oh, okay, good.
It depends where you live. People people up here are pissed.
I'm going, so many people are happy about it. And my mouth was open when I saw the verdict, and I'm like, I don't get this.
He was found not guilty, in case you
not guilty on 5 charges.
Right.
And I'm sorry, even if it is self-defense, you killed 2 people. There's got to be at least a fine. Something. This is, am I the weird one here? I don't get it anymore. I don't get the world. Well, the way I see the world is completely different than anybody else. And I think I'm the weird one now.
Well, okay. So if it makes you feel any better, the word disgusting is trending on Twitter right now because that's people's reaction to Kyle Rittenhouse being found not guilty. The majority of people, the fact that that word disgusting is trending should tell you,
So it's a state line of anybody across this state line believes one way, and I don't know. I just think so differently about the world than other people that I think I'm the weird one now.
You think differently than the people that live around you. That's the thing.
I couldn't find one comment today about at least you should do a little time for killing somebody. No, everybody was like, awesome, great. Finally, the justice system works.
No. Nobody here is saying that. Nobody on Twitter that I follow. No. You live in a very weird, unusual place.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to know that I wasn't the weird one because it really stopped me in my tracks today and said, wow.
Yeah, I know.
How can people, I don't know. It's like I hate getting political and I hate bringing things up like that, but that one, hit me pretty hard.
Well, the thing that people are most concerned about is that with a verdict like that, it declares open season on left-wing protesters. That's what people are concerned about, that it's sort of set the precedent.
Yeah, the judge in that whole thing was just wacky from the get.
Yeah.
The media was all over it. They put cameras in there. MSNBC tried to follow somebody, the jurors home. Just everything about this case was just screwed up. And that the smug bastard is getting off without one charge. Drives me crazy.
Yeah. And this right after that other dude that ended up who was accused was convicted of raping 4 women.
And he got off.
He didn't get off. Well, he didn't get put in prison. The judge didn't want to put him in prison. So the judge gave him 8 years probation. Because, the defense attorney, the attorney for one of the women who was raped said, because he's rich and white and the judge doesn't want to put him in prison.
And the judge is retiring.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But no, I see that, and then I see this one, and I say, I'm living in a different world than everybody else.
No, it's where you live. You live in a very conservative area where they see this very differently. They see this as, they see it as self-defense.
My good friends on Facebook and ones that aren't wacky, that I respect, were saying. So that's why I was like, really? That's why I had to bring it up, because
Right.
I just want to hide in my house. If I think that differently than everybody else, then I'm the weird one.
No, most people on Twitter feel the way you feel, and everybody in New York feels the way you feel. I mean, again, it depends on what part of the country you live in and how you view this whole thing. I mean, I didn't watch the entire trial, so I have an opinion, but I don't have a good opinion because I didn't watch the whole trial. So I'm not going to say what my opinion is. I would have to watch the whole trial and see exactly what happened. Remember, trials are not always about guilt and innocence. They're about who put on the best case and who gave the most evidence, and who, if you can't convict somebody if there's not enough evidence against them.
So why didn't you follow this story? You follow every other story.
No, I'm not, because I'm done with anything political. I'm done with it. I spent too much time in that world. I'm sick of it. I only want to talk about what Kim Kardashian is up to. Seriously, like I can't live in that world anymore. And after doing a year of political talk radio before you and I did this show, it's really exhausting and tiring, because you're never going to convince somebody of anything. Even if you have great arguments, even if you have science, even if you have facts, you will never convince somebody who thinks differently than you. They will never see a little bit of your side. There's no gray areas. It's too stressful. You can't talk to people anymore. It's just not worth it. So I didn't follow this trial because I knew it was just going to really upset me.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a slam dunk, because I watched a lot of it, because they streamed the whole thing. So I watched a lot of it, and no, I was more taken back by this verdict than I was for O.J. Simpson. And that one, I sat there and went, really?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by this verdict at all.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's no secret that, well, whatever. I'm not going to say, but because I don't want to get into it and I don't want to upset any of our listeners and whatever. It's just not worth it. But it's the point that we do not live in we live in a world where it comes down to whether you had evidence or not. So maybe there just wasn't enough evidence. I don't know.
Right. But you usually love court cases.
Not this one. No, I mean, I watched. No, I'm compelled by court cases that actually have a potential to have a good verdict that makes sense.
Right.
If you murder two people, but they're, of course, the people that are supporting Kyle Rittenhouse are saying that he didn't murder anybody. It was self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess the bottom line is Black people and white people are treated differently in this country. And that's just what it feels like. It feels like if Kyle Rittenhouse was Black,
it'd have been a different